Did this show just acknowledge that the main character's catchphrase was kind of cringy? My god, I think I'm gonna love this season. We opened this week with Laura inside of her aquapod, and oh wow. Yeah, I only put in that Doctor Who clip on a whim last week, but geez, Laura's got a pretty sweet pad here. And yes, this was definitely the inside of that little tablet, as confirmed by Manatsu's creepy eye peeking in. Didn't think I would see Twilight Zone imagery in Precure. And of course, Laura decided to show off all of the bling she had gotten from the Queen, including a mirror that she just pulled out of her hair, because that's a great place to keep things, right? Understandably, Manatsu wasn't interested in all of this blatant pride placement, and instead was excited for her first day of school. Now, you see, this is how they indoctrinate your kids. They make school look like all fun and games with these cute little anime girls, when in reality, they're just being subliminally brainwashed into good little drones for the man. Nah, of course I'm kidding, as I do appreciate when role models promote really any sort of better living habits. In the case of this series, I do appreciate that the actual leader of this team is going to be the one who's going to be organizing things rather than just leaving it in the hands of the Spock of the team. Not that any of this mattered to Laura, as she still wanted to find more Precure candidates. One possibility, in my opinion, was Applejack Sensei here. Yeah, seriously, this teacher is voiced by Sora Tokui. They have Nero, Nico, AJ here, and yet they're not going to use her as a Precure? Maybe next year. Anyway, she asked if anyone wanted to volunteer to introduce themselves. Yeah, Teach, I think I can save you a few syllables. You there, in the main character seat. Manatsu did her aforementioned awkward intro that earned her some golf claps. Jeez, I can feel the sting. Still, Sango enjoyed her intro, and of course our lead character recognized her from the previous episode. As a result, the two hit it off after school very well, to say the least. You know, one of my commenters brought up an interesting point about our new lead. About half of her name is Manatsu. Just kind of throwing that out there. And to Manatsu's credit, she suggested they create a cosmetics club based on her new friend's interest, which was nice. She even learned that Sango's interest in cosmetics went even further, as her mother owned that shop from the last episode, resulting in Manatsu finally going into said shop and even introducing herself to the mother. During all of this, Laura was impatiently waiting at home as Manatsu was meeting the in-laws, I mean her new friend's mom. And as a result, the mermaid decided to make herself more at home. Let me guess, you read a certain manga with some very blatant yaoi undertones, and now you want to try and do the inverse with Manatsu. I'm not even really kidding. While I think the last episode actually kept things kind of subtle, this one is just going full in with all the Yuri-ness, as Laura was clearly irritated with Manatsu making another friend besides her. Anyway, unlike Tatsumi, Manatsu couldn't keep a mer person in her tub, so they moved their operations to a vacant pool at the aquarium. Good call, as I'm pretty sure a regular chlorine-filled swimming pool might have been bad for the mermaid. Then again, this is the same fish girl who swam through sewer water, so maybe she's just built differently. Also, yes, I'm never going to get over that. The whole scene itself was very well done, with pretty visuals. I especially love Laura's jump here, and some very nice music that reminds me that Shiho Terada is on staff here, and that I really need to buy the OST. We also got to learn a little more about the Mermaid Kingdom, and how it was basically the opening to a certain Disney classic, emphasis on was. Still, Laura was willing to take Manatsu to her kingdom after they defeated the Witch of Procrastination. We, unfortunately, didn't get to learn a little bit more about the show's antagonist here, but we did get an interesting moment between these two. As, after hearing about Manatsu's intentions of creating a club that might deprive her of even more time with her, Laura decided to tell her a little lie about what the qualifications of becoming a Precure were. Instead of the pure heart stuff and all that, she said it was the strong bond between a human and a mermaid, which, yeah, this little piranha was living up to her namesake of the vindictive siren. To even further her grasp on Manatsu, Laura convinced her to take her with her the next day. Though, to be fair, she also did use this opportunity to scout for the next Precure, that is until Sango arrived. Hey Laura, you want some toast to go with that jelly? Meanwhile, at the witch's castle, we learned that Chongre was actually her personal chef. It also explained the meaning behind his scarf, which apparently was known as a neckerchief, that's meant to keep a chef cool as they cook and absorb any sweat that might fall into the food. Yeah, it's meant to keep the crab cool at the bottom of the ocean. I guess it makes as much sense as him cooking ramen that never gets soggy. I mean, the cover here makes a lot of sense, and I'm assuming it's vacuum sealed, but again, cooking ramen underwater.
Whoever sent this obviously has no idea about the physical limitations of life underwater.
Back with our heroines, Manatsu was having another tiff with Laura before her classmates found her and told her that the club orientations were starting. Just say it's your waifu app. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Then again, I'm not sure if she could handle a smartphone considering she ended up dropping the tablet. Manatsu quickly realized this and tried to find her digital mermaid in spite of missing out on her beloved orientations. She quickly found her after this Saiyan spotted her and caused an uproar at the school. The two managed to escape to a private spot, had an argument, and a breakup. Is this just going to be a second episode thing from now on? Okay, while I'll admit, there was some good build up to this, with Laura clearly being jealous throughout, and Manatsu's growing frustrations with this Little Mermaid's maid demands, the actual argument they had here did feel a little rushed, as though they knew they only had 6 minutes left in this episode. It wasn't bad, and thankfully not really out of character for either, especially Laura, just a little rushed is all. Anyway, the waterways at the school just conveniently connected to the rest of the city. Yeah, this is a really nice setting and everything, but do they really need dismay trenches all over the place? Must be a pain to clean. Chongre seemed to agree and create a mantra of the week to just get everyone to relax. Laura, of course, tried to stop him, but only became a target once again. Fortunately, Manatsu started to realize that while she was definitely a handful, she also didn't want to just end things with Laura on such bad terms. Thus, when her ring began to react to the monster attack, she rushed in to stop it, and more importantly, save her friend. She transformed and had a well-animated fight with the monster, but as I said, we only had so much time left in the episode, plus Laura had to do her thing and extract the motivation energy. Though interestingly, the energy was blue this week as opposed to the red from last week, so maybe that'll play into something later. Anyway, Manatsu finished it off with her bubblegum special, and yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just an average day at the beach park. With that, the episode ended with her unfortunately missing out on the orientations, but at least earning herself a tsundere mermaid. This was yet another fun episode that, while a little light on story and fight scenes, did have a lot of something else this franchise is known for. Yes, while it would have been nice to learn a little bit more about the Mermaid Kingdom, and the Witch's Kingdom for that matter, it's clear that this is meant to be a more character-focused season, hence why they're keeping this cast very small right now, without even half of the team making proper appearances yet. As a result, this episode ended up focusing on, well, let's just call it what it is, a love triangle. I think for anyone concerned that the new head writer Masahiro Yokotani wouldn't be able to bring in the Yuri for this season, might have had their concerns quelled this week. Yeah, I won't deny, all of the interactions between our main characters were cute, even if one corner of this triangle was outright toxic. Still, that just made Laura all the more interesting of a character. She didn't want to admit to Manatsu, or even herself, that she really enjoyed her company. Thus, she's now outright lied and manipulated this girl, which could lead to some consequences on down the line, hopefully. In general, I really like that Laura is not at all a straight-laced character. It gives her layers and makes it so that we do want to see her grow out of being this selfish, manipulative little brat. The fact that she even wore Manatsu's patience thin was a testament to this. For now though, this is one of the more interesting main pairings I've seen in this franchise, and I'm glad it was the main focus of this week. Sure, it would have been nice to have gotten a little more world building, and both fights, the breakup and the monster of the week, were just kind of there. both felt rather rushed, and in the case of the former, I wonder if it would have been better saved for later in the season. But still, they weren't bad, and at least didn't really detract from what was clearly the main focus of this episode. While I might actually like to see more between just these two, we'll see if this third wheel can shake things up in interesting ways. Lastly, I just wanted to take a quick minute here to thank all of you, because thanks to you, this channel has now passed the 6K subscriber mark. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this channel to take off as much as it has. Really, I just got bored one day and felt like reviewing stuff. But since then, I've been trying to improve my game with every video, and will continue to do so in the oncoming years. So, once again, thanks for subscribing, and who knows, maybe we'll even break 7, 10, hell, maybe even the mythical 100K, who knows? Okay, I won't let my ego get that overinflated, but again, thanks for always sticking it out with me, and also as always, farewell for now my friends, and yeah, sounds like I'm not gonna have a bathtub for the next few weeks. Pool showers, here I come.